Hey everybody, Jamie Kelly here. Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of Season 3 of the Approximate Podcast. Be sure to join our Patreon for only $5 a month to see all of Season 3's episodes in full HD video. That's patreon.com/approximate podcast. If you're already a patron, thank you so much for your support. And to everyone who's tuned in, we love you all. And now, on with the show. Kitty! Fucking stop it! God damn it. Fucking cat. Yeah, you. Oi. Scrapple. Stop it. Alright, cut. We're done. Fucking cat. God damn it. Holy shit. Brittney Kade.
Hello.
How are you doing, sweetheart?
I'm so good. So happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
This is such a pleasure. You're absolutely welcome. I'm so glad you could find the time.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
It came out of nowhere. I was hitting up Stephanie yesterday because we were in the middle of hitting up a bunch of people to book for the podcast, and threw a shot in the dark and hit you up through a DM through a couple different social medias. Lo and behold, you actually responded. I was like, holy shit. I marched next door to Stephanie. I was like, guess who we got?
Aw.
Fucking Brittney.
Thank you.
I'm becoming addicted to that stupid button.
I love it. No, it ended up working out perfect because I was actually coming out this weekend to Vegas anyways. So
Yeah, so were you here on business? You got something going on?
I guess more so pleasure.
Did you have like any big plans for Vegas?
Mainly just hanging out with Haller.
For those that are watching, behind these cameras, we have a good friend of the show, good friend of everybody here.
Iconic Haller Gurius.
He will have his very own episode of the podcast later. Right now, he's just the ride. One of the first things I got to ask, because we're just meeting officially. Like I'm sure we barely like cross paths at a industry party or an award show or something. But I got to like get some like basic information out of the way. First of all, how long have you been in the industry?
Wow. Well, this summer will be 2 years for me.
2 years,
Yeah.
just a baby. How'd you trip backwards into it, or did you seek it out?
I have been, well, I've done like social media since I was like 17. I did like, I was a beauty guru before I even did porn. So,
Okay, like a YouTube
Like
thing?
YouTube?
Or?
yeah, I was a YouTuber.
Oh, okay.
And I had even like at 17 years old, I was getting offers from like people I know now in the industry. Like,
Sure.
so I always had in the back of my mind, like, okay, this is an option for me. And once I was like more comfortable with my body and being on camera, I was like, okay, let me just jump the gun and go for this. And it's been a really great decision. I'm so happy with it.
Yeah, it's been treating you well. I mean,
Absolutely.
just from like on the outside looking in, it seems like it's been treating you well so far.
Thank you. Yes, it has. I'm very blessed and thankful.
Awesome. You're signed. Are you signed to an agent?
I am. I'm with Hussey Models.
Oh, how did you land that?
Well, funny story. I saw my agent Riley Reynolds on a Netflix series called Hot Girls Wanted.
Oh yeah.
Oh, wow. That trash.
It's very infamous,
Yeah.
but regardless, Riley's always saying it got him a lot of models. So
Oh, that's the agent that you signed with.
yeah,
Oh,
Riley.
wow. Oh, okay. Wow. Okay. Well, it's working out though.
It really has. Before I signed with him, all I had done was Groupie at that point with Radius, and yeah, since signing with them, I did a 3-year contract, and I've done Browsers, I've done Evil Angel, like so many really cool studios I've always wanted to work with, and it's been really awesome.
Yeah, you've run the you
Everywhere.
basically worked for almost everybody at this point, or
Almost
essentially?
everybody, yeah.
Awesome. Now, Hot Girls Wanted, that was more of a mockumentary. All of that stuff was set up. Like,
I've never seen it.
yeah, just by Rashida. Ugh,
What is
yeah,
it? What is it?
Rashida
Give me the rundown.
Jones or whatever. She's kind of a swerf. So it's basically like this mockumentary that like paints the industry, like it paints like a picture of like a predator running like the industry kind of, and like these girls kind of like, you know,
Very
working their way
naive.
through it.
Yeah.
Naively, like Craigslist ads and stuff like that. And it was all set up like my friend Lucy Hart told me about like the behind the scenes of it because like she knew a little bit more about it. And she was like, yeah, all of that was fake. All of that was just like, just to get clicks and make the documentary blow up because that, salacious, it's controversy, it's going to sell.
Right.
True.
But the agent's not really like that. And now, we can tell.
Yes. No,
You're
like
living proof.
it does show like a realistic point of view for some girls, I feel.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, I mean, we got to admit, like, this isn't a job for the faint of heart,
Oh, yeah,
you
of
got to
course.
be
Certainly
strong.
not.
Oh, yeah.
And
Attracts a lot of broken wings, too. Yeah.
exactly. And if you have your head on straight, I think, at least for me, it was pretty easy to make that transition.
Awesome. Yeah.
Are you the only? I should, I'm a very professional podcast host. I didn't do any research whatsoever. Are you the only trans person on the on their roster?
I am Riley's first trans model he's taken under his wing. So pretty honored. I'm excited. I'd love to. I've had some conversations about like even joining his side of the agency, like even being an agent eventually. So I'm excited.
Trans agencies, that is trans girls in agencies has been something that's been lacking big time.
It really is. It's unfortunate, and I'd love to fill that market.
We've had a few contract girls.
A few contract girls, and I do remember way back in the day, back in my day, for like a hot minute. It didn't last too long, but it did make a bit of a stir, at least within the trans niche. Kimber James was signed
Yes,
yeah.
LA Direct, right?
to LA
yeah,
Direct.
yeah.
To LA Direct, yeah.
Now, he was at Actual Bad.
Oh my God! Don't get me
Actual bad
started on him.
No, I know.
He
I
actually
was
is a piece of shit.
back in 2008, a girl I was dating, the first agent that we got her signed with, was LA Direct, and so I met Ben. I've been to his house. It's fucking
I'm sorry.
yeah. He's a bastard. Like in real life,
Shady.
as soon as you meet him, you get that vibe. So
Kimber James is definitely like an inspiration for me. Like she's iconic. I love her.
I was just about to ask you that. Do you have any role models that like you looked up to
I
in porn?
love Kimber James. I love Aubrey Kade. She's been so sweet to me.
She's the best. I love her.
She really
I got
is.
to tie her up for the T Awards one year. It was really great.
That's so sweet. Yeah, I mean, I've even had conversations with her, and I've told her up front, like, girl, like, you are my goals. Like, I want to be you.
Yeah. I mean, she was Evil Angel first contract girl, right? So
Exactly.
go. That's something there.
Opening the doors.
Absolutely.
She ran so I could walk.
That's the thing. Yeah. Like people say it's like an ego thing, like open up the doors, but it's like not really, like because some like where we are in trans porn in this niche, like there's a lot of stuff that's still, not available to us. And then like, girls like yourself and Aubrey and stuff like that can open those doors for girls in the future.
That's the goal. I would, as much as I have like inspiration of like Aubrey and other girls, I would love to be an inspiration for the next generation for sure.
absolutely. So I'm taking it you were forgive my parlance, but like maybe a fan of what we do long before you got into it, or were you very much into porn at all?
I had never seen trans porn before I got into it. Personally, I love like gay porn. Like I love watching two guys like get it on. But I had never like watched any trans scenes, and even like just getting off by myself, I would like hide myself under the covers. Like I wouldn't even look at my own dick. Like I was
goodness.
so like self-conscious. And like since getting into the industry, it's like I'm in love with my body. Like, are you kidding? Like it's empowering.
Oh, I love to hear that because I was going to ask, did you have, not to get too personal, but did you have designs on later on down the road, like just full bottom surgery or?
Personally, no. I had never had a desire for that. But I mean, I had a desire for a lot of plastic surgery, and like getting into the industry definitely helped me like reach those goals.
Oh, absolutely.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Shit don't come cheap.
Definitely not.
Yeah, that's the price tag, for real. So like you said that you were kind of self-conscious at first. Like what made you break out of that shell? Just being in front of the cameras or like
I would say it's hard to pinpoint exactly what point in my life where I like gained confidence like in front of the camera. But I did do some modeling as a teenager, like around 17. But it wasn't like adult or anything.
Yeah, it's like fashion modeling.
Exactly. I was signed to a modeling agency as a teenager for a very brief period of time. So I always had a passion for modeling and like I had done YouTube. So I was very comfortable in front of the camera and it was just a matter of me like funneling that ambition into porn because it's been a really great outlet for me for acting, for modeling. I'm living the dream, honestly.
Yeah, there you go. Own that sexuality.
Exactly. Thank you.
In what ways has your like performance style evolved since you've been in the industry? Like I'm imagining you started out doing solos, maybe, right?
It's funny. My first scene I did, well, the first day I did like porn. Can I say porn on here?
Oh,
Yeah.
of course.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Some people are like,
No, you're fucking. God damn it! Episode over. You're fired.
first day I did porn, it was a solo shoot for Groovy, and then later that day we had a hardcore. So, and then my hardcore was with Rodrigo, which is still to this day the biggest I've ever taken.
Okay.
But comparing that day to my style now, I can definitely take Rodrigo by now, like, and not like look like I'm in pain, you know?
Stretched out a bit, yeah. Well, you know, and maintaining the fitness and whatnot. I remember when I took Ramon for
Fucking Ramon.
yeah,
Shit.
Ramon for the Trans 500. I was like, I don't know how I'm doing that.
Oh, Ramon.
Monster cock Ramon.
Yeah.
Did you get through it? How,
Yeah, fuck yeah. I took it all the way. It's great.
Like a pro, baby. I love it.
Afterwards, I was like, yeah, I felt it. But then I went and visited him in Miami like a couple of years later, and we partied and had a good time too.
Ramon was fun. I shot with Trans 500.
Yeah, Trans 500.
Yes. I did that too, and it was with Ramon. And
Yeah.
comparing that to my first scene, night and day. Like, I was like, I got this. Like,
Yeah.
is there any more inches? Let me take them.
Bring it on.
Were you naturally a bottom or?
Naturally, I am a bottom. Yes.
Gotcha. You're into music.
I am.
You are into music.
Oh,
what's
musician.
your history with music? What do you do and what are you up to?
I am a singer-songwriter. I've done two solo songs. I featured on a track with Gracie Jane.
Oh.
She just had an album come out, and I was on one of her biggest songs off the album. So it was really fun. I got to perform it at the T Awards. And
That's right.
Oh,
That's right.
surgery song, right?
yes, it's called
fuck
Bigger.
yeah. I love it. Yeah, I love it.
It's a bimbo anthem.
Yeah. Yeah. It's really electronic and also like really, really queer, and I fucking love it.
It is.
I was like, yeah, this is for this venue, absolutely.
It's ironic because the night before I performed at the T Awards with her, we had done a venue downtown LA, and it was very club kid type of style.
Okay.
Like,
What is that? Is that 1720?
yes.
Oh, cool. Heaven. Did you go to heaven?
I've been to there and I did perform with her and did that song there. But that night it was a different club. I forget which one, but completely different style between like everyone like right at the stage and like singing along to
Oh.
like performing at the T Awards where everyone's at a table and like it's
I
very
imagine.
formal and like I love music. I do have some more music coming out, so it's really a fun passion of mine for sure.
How what's your history with it? How far back do you go with music?
Well, around the same time I got into porn, I started doing music. So, a music producer reached out to me and was like, I'm a huge fan, and if you ever want to do music, and I was like, okay, well, I mean, I've never done it before. I'll give it a try. And we did a song called OnlyFans. And I have two songs, OnlyFans and Porn Star, both like sex related.
There you go. There you go. Own it. Own it.
But I love it. It's a lot of fun. It's a really good creative outlet for me, for sure.
Oh, that's wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. So, but you don't like play an instrument or anything, or?
I wish I tried like doing keyboard when I was like 13. I think the most I ever did was like Mary Had a Little Lamb.
You've only been in for 2 years, you say, right?
Yes.
Well, so far, what has been like your? Has there been something that has been like kind of an achievement or a scene that you are especially proud of that, like, I don't know, like made you go, this is absolutely fucking amazing. I can't believe I got to do this.
Like that tweet going around. Like, what made you say I did that?
The milestone moment. For me, that was definitely winning Best Trans Newcomer at AVN this year. It was really exciting.
Oh, congratulations on that.
you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's a big one.
But again, working with like companies like Browsers is like huge milestone. I've always wanted to work with them. They're like so big, and like it's definitely was an honor. As much as I would love to have them do more scenes with girls like me, it's an honor just to, I guess, be a part of the few that have. You
Yeah,
know?
it's a few up front, and then once they see it's a little bit more profitable than what they thought, then they might start investing into more of it.
I heard that they aren't shooting any scenes.
You're
this
not.
year.
Oh shit! So you got the tea from behind.
I know. Last year I scored. But I mean, eventually they'll come around. Like there's no way that they can't, the way things are going.
Absolutely not.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah. I mean, well, it's just your job to be hot and just keep it up, and hopefully other girls do the same thing.
Exactly. My phone will be on the second they're hitting me up. So
Yeah, totally. So, like, what's some of your like? You said you're a bottom. Like, what have you taken more than like one guy or?
I've never done double anal yet. I'm definitely gonna save that for my OnlyFans.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Market.
Exactly. I would love to do a studio, but I mean, I will do my first like on OnlyFans just to like coin that.
Yeah.
Gotta be a smart girl here.
I'm taking it. You haven't been to Prague yet, or have you?
I've gotten an offer.
Gotten the offer.
Yes.
So it's probably coming up sooner than you think with the double anal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, my friend Gracie, who like hooked me up with the offer, she just did double anal 3 days in a row.
Ooh.
Out in Prague. I know.
Trooper.
For real.
Does she eat at all?
Probably not, and I applaud her for it.
Dick.
Lots of cum and piss.
Lots of coming. Okay, yeah, they do a lot of piss over there. Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah. So, like, speaking of that, like, what are some of your like favorite fetishes to explore on camera?
Oh my god, I'm so glad you asked that. I love doing like gangbangs.
Ooh.
So I love being like the only girl, the only feminine one with like a lot of masculinity energy. So I love like BDSM. Again, like where I'm like the submissive one.
I'm not going to pat myself on the back too much, but speaking of gangbangs and studio stuff and everything, I'm just going to just pat myself on the shoulder and say, there's a couple DVDs over there.
Oh, I love it.
I got to take a second to mention that it's been done. It's been done.
Iconic.
So I do the Transsexuals series.
Transsexuals.
Yeah, so where I'm building up the capital to put part 3 together. We're 2 in. But it started back in 2015?
Yeah, we shot the first one.
You were with the first one.
Yeah, we shot that in like 2014 or 2015, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think we shot it in 2014. It came out in 15.
Yeah.
Then we shot one in 16 that came out in 17. And then there's been a lull, and I'm building up the capital to do the third one.
Now that was more orgies than actual gangbangs, though.
The way that I have the actual movie set up is it is kind of orgy to begin with. We pair people off in like groups of 2 of the 6 folks, while the other 4 do stuff in the background, and then we highlight. We like rotate every like 10 minutes, and like Put two folks in front of the camera with essentially an orgy going on in the background. That's our first 30-minute setup.
Yeah, I was there.
And then the second, yeah, you were there. And then
I
the
remember-
last 30 minutes is an actual all-in, oil-covered, super
fest.
hardcore fuck fest.
Yeah, fuck
Love
fest.
that.
Yeah.
And then to like fill up the second hour, there's a bunch of bonus footage. We give everybody, their own like 10-minute solo scene, and you get your money's worth. But it's hard to put together is the thing. Like the two that I directed, and Groovy put out through it was Third World and I think maybe Excalibur, the different distributors. But they went to brick and mortar.
Yeah.
They're on
fuck,
shelves.
we
and
signed for
they're
it. We-
super, like we did a signing for it and everything. Super, super popular. But with the money involved and the scheduling, like we hit lightning in a bottle twice just to get the first two together, and that's why it's been so long. Because it does take a lot of money. Because you got to pay everybody standard, like just the cost. We're going to have to raise about just over 10 grand just to get the third one done, appropriately. But yeah, people are working on these things. It's just, if you have a passion for it, it just takes time and money.
And like as far as BDSM and stuff like that, like, not to pat my own self on the back or pull my own dick off. I was not one of the first, like there's two other girls before me, but like I was like the third one who got to do submissive shit for kink.
Oh, that's
That was
wonderful.
super fun. And that was a connection with my girlfriend at the time, who was a dominatrix who did a lot of stuff for kink. And I had already shot for them a lot of times, so I already had my, repertoire or whatever built up with them. And they decided to take their chance, and it was hot. And now they're doing that with, they started doing it with more girls. And then I don't know if they still are. I don't know. I haven't really been paying attention. But I know that there's a few who got like the focus, like, and just like, how there was a few who got the focus on like brazzers and whatnot. So I just like, we kind of do this as like a community effort, even though we're like all getting off and all getting paid on our own and whatnot. We're all living out our own thing. But like, I feel like the more we do things that are out of the ordinary, like for trans porn, where we're not just sitting on a couch and jerking ourselves off, or whatever, then, the more the businesses will be like, okay, well, this did profit, so let's maybe do another one. So.
A win for one of us is a win for all of us.
Absolutely.
I think.
Absolutely. Do you have any experience with kink?
Oh my God, I have been dying to work with kink. I've hit up Pam. I've like, all my friends have worked with them. And I'm like, they know I want to work with them. I DM them on a daily basis. Like,
I swear that you probably would have been in like fucking Flash if you would have got back at them at the Armory days, because the Armory days were like the fucking salad days, like where they were booking.
It's just going to be a matter of time. Yeah,
It'll come along.
You'll get it. You'll
get the kinky shit.
I better. As like a person just enjoying porn, like I love kink. Like
Nice.
it's iconic.
Yeah.
I think like it'd be so much fun.
What kind of kinky stuff are you into?
I love like flogging. I love like
Impact
restraining.
play, bondage? Nice.
Absolutely, yes.
I might refer you to like somebody who does more portrait type of bondage, but also it's kind of more of a trade thing. But it'd be a cool experience if you're interested in that. I'll let you know that when we get off we've had him on the show before.
Who are we talking about?
We're
Marshall?
talking about Marshall. Yeah.
Oh, Marshall. Yeah. Do you like the aesthetic of like rope bondage and?
Oh my gosh, so sexy. Love
Oh,
that.
We got people we can absolutely hook you up with that are known folks and trusted folks
Yeah.
here in the industry, just down the street, Marshall.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that'd be
rigged
awesome.
He's rigged for kink and stuff like that.
Oh yeah. He's deeply in the industry. Goes way back. Yeah.
I would love that contact. Thank you.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Absolutely.
Appreciate
yeah.
it.
Yeah, I just shot with him not long ago.
Yeah,
and,
you just did one with Marshall.
yeah, it was super fun.
He does a lot of really amazing
Yeah.
black and white stuff.
Yeah.
It's just the kind of stuff that you get a really good picture, you could blow it up, hang it on your wall kind of thing.
That's exactly what
He
I
really
want.
likes the rope marks. Like, so after you're tied up, takes it off and then like gets the pictures of the rope marks. That's his
That's
thing.
hot too.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, and like, he'll gauge it towards, whatever you can handle and whatnot. Don't try to be the tough submissive because then you get hurt. but we can talk
That's
about
exciting. Thank you.
So you're coming out of California, right?
I am, yes.
Born and raised?
Born and raised California. I was born in Palm Springs. I moved to Woodland Hills a year ago, actually.
That is classic. I mean, you're like right there, Porn Central, the San Fernando Valley.
exactly.
You're the prototype.
Porn Valley,
girl. Yeah, you're the archetype. That's what it is, right?
As much as I love Vegas, unfortunately, I feel like a majority of my shoots are out in LA, in the Valley specifically.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. Yeah, well, Vegas, it's two different things. I mean, I mean, we have angels here, you know, and we have Transerotica here, and we have some groovy here, and
I forget the name of the French director.
there's a French director
Yeah.
For
here.
Yes. He just got into town, I want to say beginning of this year. Him, Tom Moore, and everyone else is out in LA,
Yeah.
it feels like.
yeah.
Well, and
Talk
the other thing about Vegas, it's a hotbed for trade. So
Yeah.
True. All the
because there's
performers out here.
all the performers are out
Yeah.
here. Yeah, and it's a cost of living thing, you know.
Exactly why I want to be out here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like the studios are mostly like we have studios out here, but like the bigger studios are still shooting in LA, right?
I guess so. I would say, I mean, we have Jim Powers out there in LA.
Yeah.
We have
Ricky Greenwood.
Greenwood. Browsers out there, but like
Is Dana still shooting for Trans Central? Or is it only Ricky now? Did you ever shoot with Dana Vespoli?
I've only worked with Ricky
Okay,
for
okay.
Trans Central.
I'm guessing it was a generation before that because when I shot for Trans Central, all the times I shot for them, except for when I shot for out in Martha's Vineyard with a director who shall not be named. Yeah, I shot with Dana Vespoli, and it was fucking great. And now everybody's talking about Ricky, and I don't know anything about Ricky.
Oh. No, Ricky's good. I did a Transsensuals. I think it was about a year and a half ago out in Malibu with his team.
Malibu.
For Transsensuals. Okay. And it was a good time. Real professional crew. They just make chef's kiss looking stuff.
Now, Dana was shooting in like Woodland Hills and Topanga and stuff like that in those areas. So yeah, I guess it's
Who's our lady over with the Evil Angel?
Francesca Lay.
Francesca Lay.
And that was Woodland Hills, I think, too. Actually,
Yeah, they're out around there.
Yeah,
with Mark Wood and all them.
Yeah, I don't know if she's still doing it though. I mean, she was Evil Angel director.
I haven't done any scenes with her for them.
Have you worked for Joey?
Joey, yes, I have.
Joey Silvera, for the people listening to podcasts, he's a longtime icon in the transport industry.
Love him.
Yeah.
I've done Evil Angel for him and Roman Newmar.
I don't know that one.
He has, I forget the name of the surgery, but it's where you have like a button in your dick.
Oh, the Prince Albert?
In your dick?
A button? What is it?
Like a piercing?
No, it's like a button, and you press it. I think it's in your balls, and you immediately get hard.
Let's we have a peanut gallery behind the cameras here.
Yeah.
What is it, Hatler?
From when you do Trimax and it breaks your dick, you have to get the pump up.
It's a surgery, yeah.
Oh,
And
it's like a face-saving thing.
It fills your dick up with air pretty much.
He has
You just at the press of a button, you get hard.
he has
Holy
a Reebok pump dick.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Robo dick.
That's fantastic.
Does it light up too?
It vibrates.
I had never heard of that. That's fantastic.
I had no idea, and it was in my
crazy.
mouth.
He's like, hold on, let me pump it.
Oh my god.
It's like so it just pumps it and then it just stays hard for the whole shoot, or
Yeah.
wow, and no needle, no Trimax needed.
No needle, no Trimax.
Oh wow.
Wow, we're truly living in the future.
Trimax was something even like after I stopped performing, like we were just doing like Cremagra and Viagra, fucking Cialis and shit like that, and then fucking Trimax came along as I wasn't performing around that time. I was like, okay.
I feel like all of the trans girls are on Trimax. Not
Yeah.
just spill tea for anyone, but
I was fortunate enough to not have that problem when I was
Yeah,
able
I'm
to
the
pop.
same way. I've
really,
been
Always
very lucky. I don't have to.
Yeah.
You are so lucky.
I
was
just
Wow.
I would
function.
just tune in and go off our chemistry. Now, if I'm not vibing with the girl, then I'm kind of like, let me pop something. But other than that, I'm just like, let's do it. I've always been kind of more of a lesbian, anyways, though. But I do like men, so
I love men, but for my lesbian scenes, definitely. Well, unless it's with another trans girl.
of course, yeah.
But for
Yeah.
pussy, definitely gotta. There we go.
Oh well, yeah. I mean, lesbian, as in like either be trans girl or cis girl, whatever. And definitely into both of them. But man, dick is something different. I love it.
I just love all dick.
Yeah.
I'm a whore.
Yeah. What's one of the things you would teach someone who like wanted to be a better sexual partner?
If I wanted to teach someone to be a better sexual partner, I would. What would I do?
This could be like a multi-tiered answer because it depends on who you're giving the advice to. Like maybe for another trans girl, or maybe I think maybe who probably needs the most advice, or maybe men.
Men, of course. Yeah,
Generally, what the question's aimed for.
definitely. I would say be a little less selfish.
Good way. Yeah.
As much as I am very submissive and I love pleasing my partner. I'm a people pleaser, and I can have like the most enjoyable sex, not even getting any pleasure out of myself, like getting any oral on myself or anything. Just like totally serving my man. I love that, but at the same time, there has to be like a balance of energy, and I do think. Even if it's just eating your ass once in a while or like licking your dick here and there, or sucking on a titty, like doing something
Maybe
to like,
take a little more time.
yeah,
Yeah. Think
Pace
about
yourself.
your partner just a little bit more. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
a little less selfishness could go a long way for sure.
Spreading the hole and shoving it in is hot as an idea. It looks good on paper, but we build to that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Foreplay is everything.
Oh my God, right? Foreplay is so
Everything.
important.
I love it. Like, I feel like that's
It's that appreciation for sensuality. A little sensuality goes a long way.
absolutely.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Take it slow every once in a while. It doesn't have to always be 100 miles an hour and jamming it in as hard as you can.
No, not at all. I love like slow. I love fast, but
Switch it up.
a little empathy too.
There you
like
go.
caring about the other person goes a long way.
Like,
yeah,
for
sure.
Like, what were you like back in like college or like in that?
Did you go to
time?
college?
Did you go to college?
I didn't.
Oh, okay.
I actually
Okay, you're amongst friends.
Yeah.
love
Yeah.
that. I dropped out at the 7th grade.
Okay, 10th for me. How about you?
Shut up.
Stephanie?
I got
When
my-
did you drop out?
So I did go to some online college, but
No, seriously, when
Yeah.
did you drop out?
No, I got my GED.
When did you get your GED?
I got my GED in 2008.
Okay, love
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I got my GED in 2008, and there was like a whole like family reason behind that and stuff like that. But that's kind of like,
We all have our reasons, babe.
There's something about being the weirdo and like the ambitious weirdo
Black
that
sheep.
yeah,
that you kind of graduate your own self
Yeah.
from the depths of the hell of high school.
right, yeah.
And eventually, along the way, maybe you get your GED, maybe you do some online college courses. What were you, Phoenix University?
You're goddamn right, it was. Yeah, I got
Love
kind of fucked. I got kind of fucked with that, right? Because that was one of the scammy ones, right?
Right.
But
But then eventually, what we do is we find that kind of little grift around the system, and we wind up kind of where we are today.
well, I just figured out that I could learn so much more on my own sitting at a computer because I went for web design, interactive media, and stuff like that. Post production and all that shit. And I was like, well, I've learned so much more just by myself than I could ever learn in college, and I don't have to pay as much money either and go in debt.
Yeah, to a large degree, we're all. When I say
Go to YouTube college.
in general, folks in our position, most of us are creatives.
Yeah.
Yes.
And if
Yeah.
you're creatives, there's something about
Being unconventional.
being unconventional and like the structured pace of high school and getting a job and going to college and yada, yada, yada
Fuck
just
that.
doesn't fit. It just seems like maybe life is too short.
Yeah.
And if you can
Yeah.
find a way around it, God damn it, we're gonna work at it and take it.
True.
So we found this way to exist and shit.
And it's not easy. There's no such
No.
thing as easy money. Everything's a challenge. Everything's a challenge. But this is a challenge I'd rather face
Same.
rather
Yeah.
than going the other way, the more conventional route.
And of course, as a sex worker, we face all of those like specific stigmas and those challenges and whatnot that might be a little bit more extreme than, what people who take the other route might, face. But, it comes with the territory and you kind of got to find your way to navigate around it.
You roll with the punches.
Yeah.
Yeah. School was definitely like a difficult point for me because I transitioned at 13. So
So what? Now I gotta ask. I'm a late transitioner as far as like officially like HRT and
Okay.
therapy and all. Late stage transitioner. I think I started at 31. Now I had been trans and been presenting since my teenage years, ever since I'd say puberty. But I'm old school. I'm 30 years old. But 13, that must be a whole different thing. What is it to start at 13?
it was crazy. I was bullied so bad in school. Like I would get beat up. I would get like my backpack like ripped open. They would dump all my shit in the hallways. Like teachers would pick on me. And that was before even like being open as trans. Like I was just presenting feminine doing that. Like I didn't, as soon as I dropped out at the 7th grade, that's when I transitioned. So once I was like free from like bullying and like social standards, I guess, and normities, I was like, okay, well, I'm going to do whatever I want and transition. And it's honestly given me like a new lease on life. Like I was so depressed and like I just life before transitioning was very dark for me. So
Did you have a supportive family or?
yes and no. My mom was very supportive of my transition. She is bipolar and had like a really bad drug problem when I was a child actually. But and when I wanted to transition, she signed off on my hormones and everything, so I can't thank her enough for that. So I at least had support in that aspect of my life. It really wasn't easy, but I made it work somehow. I don't know how I got out of that hole, honestly.
Because you're resilient and you're persistent.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
What is, as far as like the physical aspect of transitioning, did you start with HRT? Did you start with a surgery of some sort?
So I started dressing as female at 13, and I started hormones. I think it was 14 years old.
Now, was that through like official channels, or did you have to go gray market, or?
Oh, I went to, yeah, it was official. I went to a endocrinologist, and
Wow, at that young.
yeah, it was the youngest patient that my doctor had ever treated at that point. He had to like have permission from his higher ups and
Got
stuff to treat me.
some Kim Petras here.
Obviously there was some family, because you can't just march in at 14 and talk to a doctor. There had to be some support for you to get your foot in the door and get the HRT.
Yes, definitely from my mother. I mean, she was like, if this is, the life that you want to live, then you have to prove it to me. If you want to like do this, she told me like, you're going to have to get on hormones. You have to do all of this and I'm not going to help you with any of it. You're going to find that doctor by yourself. You're going to deal with like insurance policies and paying for all that by yourself.
Wow.
If this is what you really want,
Wow.
you know.
You were determined, like from a
And-
young age.
Well, it kind of like put a,
Fire under your ass?
yes.
Well, and you're
Prove myself in a way.
yes. Oh wow, this is like I have a very similar story, but the whole thing about the impetus being put on you, prove it, and then the support system will kick in
Yes.
because I'm guessing your mom only had your best interest in mind.
Yes.
And if you're going to do something that's so quote unquote radical, you're going to have to take the steps. I have a story very similar to that. My dad bought me a bass guitar, and he said, I'm only going to get you a 5-string bass guitar next year if you prove that you can play this one for a whole year. So our stories are very similar.
There we go. You have to prove yourself.
Your body was your instrument, baby.
Holy shit. Not to make light of your situation, but that's
Not at all.
that's a story that so far in season 3 we haven't had anybody really share their story, especially like starting from 13 to like see what that kind of journey is.
So you must have known like when you were like really young that you were.
I did. I knew at like, I want to say starting in the first grade of like school, I knew that I was different. Even like kindergarten, like you think you're so normal, especially for me. Like I was single child. Like my mom had me at 16 and like I was always into Barbies and feminine toys. And I didn't know that wasn't a thing until I went to school and everyone's like, what are you doing with a Barbie? Like, why aren't you playing with Hot Wheels? Like, and I was like, wait a minute, I'm supposed to be playing with what? I just thought it was normal to want to be like a girl and a princess every day.
Right. The youngest memory I remember that like I relate back to being trans is we were having like this family photo or whatever at a like a mall or some shit. They were trying to put me in like cowboy boots and a cowboy hat and shit like that, and I was like, I don't wanna, cause it's not cute. And that's just like
those early early memories of even if you didn't know how to like express
Verbalize it.
femininity,
didn't know anything.
something that you knew you didn't want boy.
Yeah.
You didn't want that rugged.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I remember being in kindergarten and they'd group us in tables to do like little paintings and stuff, and they'd give you this paint, and I remember the first thing I started doing was immediately putting it on my nails. Not even drawing the little sunshine stupid house picture that you're supposed to paint, that you hang on the refrigerator.
Yeah.
No, I just took that paint right away and just right to my fingers and just completely ignored that's a huge memory in my head about how young I was, wanting to like just not feeling like a classic boy,
That's so sweet.
But I was going to ask, so how long between HRT and what was like the next physical step for you? What was like a first surgery, and like what was that space between like HRT and did you go with boobs first? Were you looking at concentrating on face stuff? What was it?
For me, I had always wanted big boobies. And yeah, I just love like the Anna Nicole look, the bimbo style. I transitioned very young and I had like a very problematic childhood, like with a mom that was, although she was supportive, she was on drugs, and bipolar. So I kind of had to take care of myself and I was like escorting even underage and stuff. Like I was wild, but
That's a first on the podcast. Wow.
at 18, I got this guy to buy me a boob job. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
I went
sugar
for the
daddy.
boobies,
Sugar
double
daddy coming in
D's.
for the win.
Yeah. Sugar daddy boobies are they're the tits.
I've never paid for a boob job. I've had to.
Yeah, same.
Love it.
You said around 13 you started dressing, and then around 14 you got on HRT. Like, was there a therapy period before that?
Yeah, so at 13, well, I'm going to say like right before I started hormones, like the doctor wouldn't let me do hormone therapy without having some therapy. And I saw a therapist for, I want to say 3 months or so. And she gave me the green light, sent it over to my endocrinologist, and I was on estradiol.
So it was estrogen first, and was it testosterone blockers as well?
Yes, it was estrogen and testosterone blockers.
And then progesterone as well? The progesterone came...
Progesterone, I started when I was around 17.
Okay.
I didn't really like it that much personally.
Okay.
But yeah, it kind of made me gain weight.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Fat redistribution, that's what it's for. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's really interesting to just hear that, because I know it's not supposed to we're not supposed to mention current events, but I think you know what I'm probably getting at. A lot of people think it's a lot different than that. I think you just kind of,
In this
come
day and
one
age,
all, come in, get a pussy.
It's-
Change your dick into a pussy.
Come in, we got the scissors ready. Yeah, that's
I wish it was that easy back when I started. Fuck. We've done that at 7.
and now I just have morbid curiosity. You don't have to answer any of this, but what's the list of work that you've had done?
I'm happy to share. So I have had, do I include like injections or just want surgery?
Well, I mean, we'll put injections under like an umbrella of
Okay. You're talking
injections.
about getting
It
pumped?
doesn't have to be that specific.
So I've had obviously Botox fillers. I've had a lip lift. I've had veneers. I've had 2 boob jobs. I've had my ass done. I think that's about it. I haven't had FFS yet.
Is that a BBL or is that implants for the ass?
For my ass, I did silicone. I'm a bad girl.
Okay. I mean, hey, it's probably the least dangerous out of those 2 BBLs. Is like very
It's-
dangerous.
People don't talk about it, but it's actually just as dangerous as
Oh, is it?
silicone, I feel.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I was just curious. So we're actually, guys, this has been like so fast. We're already at that point. I got to like start to put a bow on it, but this has been fascinating and amazing.
I've had the best time. Thank you so much for having me
Yeah.
and letting me share my story.
We do like to end, especially when we have performers on. And let me ask you now. I know you're only 2 years in, but you have gotten a lot done.
You ran the gamut, girl.
Thank you.
You've run the gamut in 2 years.
I love you guys.
For new people that are coming in, what are 3 pieces of advice that you would give to an up and comer?
Okay. First, I would say keep your head on straight. If you can, stay sober, especially working. That's an obvious.
Very important.
Yes. Second would be do your taxes, baby.
The pragmatic stuff.
Yes, pragmatic.
It adds up quick and you don't realize it till it's too late. But do your taxes, keep your head on straight. And third, I would just say do what you love. If you don't love it, don't do it. Let the next girl take the gig. If you're going to be complaining on set, you don't need to be there. Someone would love to be on set, and give them the opportunity. Don't be complaining about your scene granted, like we all go through a lot, but if you don't want to be there, don't be there.
Yeah, that absolutely perfect sense. Because it's really easy to especially when you're new. You want all the gigs. You want all the things.
Yes.
You want more.
Everything, yeah.
But that doesn't mean that you're
Ready?
and even if people are the phone's ringing, as soon as they give you the call sheet and the script and it's something that you see, please read it and see if you're fit for the job.
Yes.
Because it does make difference. Because Tom and I and Stephanie, we were talking about this the other day. If you're just taking a gig just to take it, and you're not having the grand view in mind that this is a business we're making, it's not about you, it's about the customer.
Yes.
It's about the customer. By taking a gig that is not necessarily meant for you, especially if you're not being honest with yourself and you're just taking gigs to take gigs and take gigs and take gigs, what you wind up doing is having a really bad time on set. And not only are you wasting your own time, but you're wasting everybody's time down the production line, and it just becomes a bad experience for everybody. And then you put kind of a shitty name on yourself.
I think it's very obvious, especially when you're on camera, when your scene partner is not into it. And we all have our bad days, and sometimes, the chemistry isn't there. And you kind of have to fake it and fudge it a little bit. But if you're just resenting being there the whole time, and thinking that's not going to translate on camera, and thinking that producers or directors aren't going to feel that.
Yeah.
Fix it in post. There's no such
Exactly.
thing. No. It all starts with the performer.
Exactly, yes.
And I tell people, because this like tangentially ties into it, but it gets to the heart of the matter. You can have all the makeup in the world, but nothing is as inviting as a genuine smile. You know?
True, yeah.
And if you can tell a bad time, if you're in a bad way, you don't want to be there, that's the first thing that's going to translate on camera. And it's going to like ruin everything from the top down.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but I do see some performers on set and needing to like even be on substances to be on set and to get through a scene, and it's like, girl, there's give me the gig, give
Yeah,
give my
girl.
girlfriend the gig. Like
Yeah.
honestly, like it would be so much more beneficial to have that exposure given to someone else that actually wants to be there, and even the customer like
Yep.
is going to enjoy that scene way more knowing that a girl genuinely wants to be